will put my pride down, put down your attitude. You stop yelling at me, I stop yelling at you. We both said some things, most of it ain't even true.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Breakdown. Shout out to everybody listening to us all over the place. You can check out the links below to check out where else you can find us at. I got Mike in here with me. I got Faith in here with me. And we joined again by Miss Nyla. So we go do a show tonight. Basically, I entitled the show the way that I did because here recently, unless you've been under a rock, you do know that Nipsey Hussle passed away. The way that he passed and everything was crazy to me. It's insanely. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it because when I heard that his daughter was in the vicinity when this happened, I flipped out. I was tripping. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I didn't even realize it, didn't know it until somebody brought it to my attention. And I don't know. I just think it's crazy. But we talking about tonight a little something that I want to deal with because I don't think I've ever done this on the show before. We're talking about respect. Respecting a relationship, respecting everything that's going on in your relationship. Now, the reason I wanted to do this show, there's a real reason I wanted to, was because, as most people know, Nipsey was whipped. And I don't know, Flo was telling me earlier that some are saying that they were married. I don't know if it is true or not. If it is, that's even more reason why we're doing this show right now. But Nipsey Hussle, I keep saying Nipsey Hussle. I don't know why I'm doing that. But anyway, Nipsey Hussle was with Lauren London, and Flo was telling me earlier. How long you say it was, Flo?
They had been together, or
yeah, they had been together.
If I'm not mistaken, it was like 2013. If
Okay.
not, it's 2015.
Okay.
But I think it as early as 2013 because they were introduced by a mutual friend. So from there was on and popping. She said they had been together ever since through ups and downs and no matter what.
Now I do see on Google, which I'm Googling right now.
I think
there is a link that says they were married. I'm trying to let me make sure.
I think it's been like a year and some change, Jacob.
Okay.
That they've been married, and I think her son to Lil Wayne is like 9, right, or 8.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think they got together like after that.
Oh, okay, so it does say they've been together for 5 years. I'm trying to check it out to make sure I don't want to get no bad information.
Right.
Okay,
right.
it doesn't really say in here, but we'll keep you updated. We'll check it out, let you know in the group via Facebook or the like page what's going on. But anyway, I wanted to do this show because I saw a video that surfaced, and I was trying to remember if I had seen it first or if somebody had sent it to me. If I remember right, I believe somebody sent it to me. Um, and it was very disturbing to me because Nipsey had just passed away. Not too. I want to say it was like it might have been 4 days before this got sent to me. Um, Kodak Black went live. I want to say it was Facebook, but one of the social media sites. He went live and started talking about Laura London. And he was like, "Yeah, rest in peace to Nipsey. You know, I understand Laura's going through whatever." And I'm paraphrasing. Don't quote me on this. But he basically started shooting his shot at Laura London. Now, mind you, the funeral hasn't happened. The funeral happened today. Respect to everybody that was a part of it. It was spectacular. We shared it on the like page. We didn't share it in the group, but it is on our like page. If you want to see that, you can go back and watch it. It was a lot of people that were there. But he started shooting his shot saying that in so many words, he was going to give her time to heal. And he said he'll even give her up to a year to heal. And then pretty much she was fair game. Which I don't know how y'all feel about that, but to me, it was very disrespectful. And I was like, wow, really? Now, if you know Kodak Black talks all type of stuff. He does it all the time. So it wasn't, I don't want to say it was surprising to me, but it kind of was, especially the timing that he did this. And let's just say social media went crazy. Social media went insane because of him saying what he said. And the streets heard it. When I say the streets, I'm talking about any and everybody that you could think of. And when I seen it, I was kind of late seeing it. But I said to myself, I said, man, I hope don't nobody see this for real. It's going to be a problem. And the next thing I know, I start seeing different videos from people like T.I. It was so many people. Somebody sent me, was it today? I think it was today. They sent me something today. I'm talking about Hot Boy Turk was talking about it. You seen Spice One? Big Boy said something. Not Big Boy the singer, the DJ. He said something about it. I mean, everybody was talking about this. And I basically told him, yo, take that down expeditiously. Take it down quick, bruh, because it's going to be some problems. And pretty much everybody that spoke on this, I even seen the game do a video on this. And I don't see the game talking about nobody or nothing. I haven't seen him in a minute. So it shocked me when I seen his video pop up. And I was like, oh, the game even said something? Wow. What are y'all thoughts on this?
First of all, he wouldn't even be her type.
That's the first place you went.
What would even make him think that he would even have half a shot?
Yeah, I wasn't
Like,
to say that. No.
I just mean all the way around. I don't necessarily just mean by like looks. I just mean like he doesn't even have.
Non-looks is included.
I mean, but I'm okay, but we're
in
okay,
that
but like
one. In that one.
right, right, but not being. Oh
It's
my
out
God.
there now. Go on and say it. It's out there now.
Not
You know.
no, I mean no, but I'm being serious. Like when you hear how well she speaks of him
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what he was to her, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then you look at him like how do you think you could fill those shoes? Like your level of maturity is nowhere near where it should be, or you wouldn't have never made that comment,
Well,
to
I'm
begin with.
gonna
So it's
tell
like
you like this.
that's crazy.
I know guys that say right now to this day, you never know until you shoot your shot. And these some guys that I look at like, bruh, there's no way you need to stop this quick.
Yeah. First off, that was real disrespectful, and it was on Instagram. I think it was, if I'm not
It was
mistaken.
Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
somebody was videotaping it, him
Yeah,
talking.
it looked like
He
they were in
he
a
didn't have
tour
the
bus
he
or
didn't.
something.
Yeah, but the thing was, the man isn't even in the ground yet. You haven't
Yeah.
even gave the girl time to heal
Yeah.
physically, emotionally. That's like she said today at the funeral. Her 2-year-old son is not going to be able to remember his father, how much
Yeah.
he loved him. And that's the sad part, because the daughter didn't even want to speak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I saw that.
And then if that's the daughter that was there for you to see and hear what this guy did to your father, that's an emotional part. That's the stuff that'll be with you forever. Because even in the video that I seen of dude doing what he did, and what the coroner said it was his death was being shot to the torso and the head, and then dude had the nerve to kick him in the head before he ran off the last time. But
I wasn't
even
gonna go
with,
into all that, but go ahead. You go.
I'm sorry,
No.
I
You
apologize.
good. You good. You
But
good. You
the
good.
sad part about it is, the respect is whatever was said between them two gentlemen should have been left as it is between two grown men.
Yeah.
But even when he shot him a couple of times, every time he shot him and came back and shot him, he said, "I'm good, man. We good. I'm good. Leave it alone."
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Crazy. And
I
what
still.
killed me is when I was listening to her when she was saying how he made her be the woman that she is now. She wasn't the way she was before until she got with him. And they've been together since 2013 is when they first met. And it's just crazy, like, man, like, this is who, like, changed her. The way I don't know how she was before. I'm not for sure how she used to be, and I don't even care. But just to hear that, how he changed her life by coming in and made her a new woman.
I agree.
I was just like, wow.
I think
I
she
agree.
just means that like he matured her.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
In a lot of ways, like, for her to open her mind to see
Open
things.
her mind, knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just.
He was a deep brother, because everybody.
He was good people. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody that you heard speak about him, even from what's YG. YG was like, he always gave you knowledge. He was like, he gave me a book to read. Everybody said he gave him something to read, or told him to go look up something, because he wanted them to be in another level, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And you don't have a lot of people that do that.
That's true.
Nowadays.
That's absolutely true. because I didn't know him personally, but I knew him because of DJing, and his music was sent to me when I was DJing for uh, a rock and roll station, and they basically asked me to come on and do hip hop. They wanted me to do hip hop and R&B, and I was like, okay, cool, that'll work. It's like, but your listeners are rock and roll people. They was like, yo, we trying to hit all levels. So I was the first person there doing hip hop and R&B, and I was spinning, everybody, Ti, Common, and different ones, and his music got slipped to me. It got sent to me, and they was like, yo, check this dude out. And I heard some of his music. I was like, oh, okay, this dude. Which a lot of people were saying, yo, I don't even know who he is. Who was he? Blah, blah, blah. That's how I knew him. I knew him through the music. But hearing what happened to him, and then even before that, hearing the stuff that he was doing in the community and trying to lift the people up and doing different things to help people out, I figured, to me, he was a good people. He was good people. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't really hear that much about different artists doing stuff like that. There are some that I do hear about, but on the regular basis, this is the stuff that I was hearing. And so I was like, oh, okay, this dude is pretty straight. This is, I even remember telling one of the guys that I DJ'd with, one day I was gonna try to get an interview with him. I was gonna try to work it out and get this interview. And they was like, "Yeah, man, that'll work." Years later, I never got a chance to do that, but hearing about the way that he passed, I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." And from my understanding, he was like currently working on a documentary. Now, I don't know what this documentary was about. There are people speculating that this had something to do with what happened to him. He was going to open eyes and some stuff. And I did hear quite a few artists in the hip hop game saying, yo, we going to make this happen. We going to finish this for Nipsey Hussle. I personally want to see this documentary. Like I said, I don't know what it's called. I don't know really what it's about. But because of him working on it the way he was, which you really didn't hear nothing about it. I want to see this documentary when it comes out. So we will let y'all know when I find out what's going on. We'll post it on the like page, put it in the group, so you can check it out as well. But like I said, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. That's from everybody here at the Breakdown. Mm-hmm. Lauren London, the young lady, his daughter, I think he has a son as well. We're praying for you. We send you our deepest condolences to his family, immediate as well as those that are, spread abroad or whatever, cousins, uncles, aunties, whatever the case may be, wherever you fit in, friends and family, we are definitely praying for you. I wanted to break into this conversation because I know personally there are a lot of people that have something to say as far as people when they're in their relationships. I know this because I'm very outgoing when I am with someone in a relationship. I display my feelings on my sleeve. Like people say, I post pictures, I make posts, you might see some of everything. But there's one big thing that a lot of people don't like about that, and they try to keep their relationship on a hush hush, especially with social media, um, because people don't respect your relationship. To me, what Kodak Black did was disrespecting their relationship. And I'm sure it's a lot of people that feel the same way and they look at it the same way. Um, so I wanted to give, and with us to give, our listeners kind of like not a quote, quote fact sheet, but some ideals of things that are respecting and or disrespecting the relationship when it comes to us, how we feel about it. So we can start out, anybody can start off, feelings on respecting your relationship or, whatever the case may be. What are y'all thoughts? I'm going to let y'all start it off. And anybody can start. Hello.
Okay, first off, I always try to let the ladies go first, but since the ladies ain't thinking that,
I'm talking about, look, I had to go look at the board to see if everybody was still here.
All right, guys, give me a second. Give me a second.
No, you good.
Go ahead,
You
Mike.
good. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
No, she Lala want to go first. Go ahead.
No, she said give her a second.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, in a situation like that, it's real disrespectful for what you say. Whether it's in death, a long relationship, and it goes into a breakup, and it could be anything. It could be because of domestic violence, and I hate to say that, or it could be just anything, financial or just disagreement. But you already invested time and emotions with that person. So for somebody just to come out of the blue, be like, yeah, I'll give you time to heal or whatever. I'll be a good man, and stuff like that. Give a man or woman time to heal before you want to shoot your shot. Be a friend. It's certain ways how to do it. You can be a friend, be there, be a shoulder to cry on or whatever. You never know what would happen if it came out of that. But in my opinion, from somebody going from sugar to shit, I just don't see that happening. I wouldn't care how much money you have, but if somebody's pouring out their soul to you and to the world, saying that this person is their shield, their protector, I feel safe, then, it's just deeper than that from trying to jump from one person to the next person, in my opinion, But certain things should be respected in any type of manner. And something like that is just real disrespect.
Like what things in particular?
Say what again, Jacob? I'm sorry?
What things in particular?
What you mean?
Like you were saying there are some things in a relationship, and that's basically what we're talking about. When you're in a relationship, there are certain things that should be respected. That's what I was getting to. What are those things that should be respected?
Face feelings. I mean, people's emotions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It depends on how the breakup was. Like, Lauren London's case, that's a death.
Well, not even in that case, though.
I'm just saying. Okay. It's just time and space. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, it depends on the breakup. Like, say for instance, hypothetically, it could be somebody that's been with their guy or they're female for shit 8 years,
Mhm.
8 strong years. I mean, y'all been together, y'all thick and thin. They've been close with your family, whatever, da da da, whoop whoop. You know, but then it's something that happened. You could have caught him cheating.
Mhm.
He could have slept with your mama. You know what I'm saying? You could have caught him with your mama, your cousin, your best friend. It don't matter. But then you have some people on one hand that will jump like some people say in the old days and nowadays too. To get over a relationship, you got to get under somebody else. Okay,
Mhm.
some people live by that. But then there are some people that need time to heal. But there are those vultures out there,
That
that
will
sit on
swoop
the
in.
side. Yeah,
They wait. They wait
that
for it. Yeah.
they wait for the opportunity. So all of a sudden they be like, oh yeah, I can get her now, so I can just jump right in. I can get this. You never
Mhm.
know how deep her emotions were for that guy or that female. Give them time to heal. You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
Right.
Give them the opportunity to reach out to you or show some interest. But everybody has their level of healing. Some people it take a day. Some people it take a week. Some people it just take, hey, that second, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. Be out of respect for that person, that man or that woman, and give them that time.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Now, what were you? What I do apologize. I missed the question. I had to check on my little one.
Oh no,
I
you
heard
good.
something.
The
Well,
question is, what are the things that should be respected in a relationship? Um, we were talking about Nipsey Hussle
hmm
and him and Lauren London and Kodak Black coming in and saying what he said about her and giving her time and all this kind of stuff. I know there are certain things that in a relationship, if done, I will fill it out. It would be a problem with me. So I'm trying to see what are those things with y'all that will cause an issue when you're in a relationship like that,
so you're saying
or a
when you're in a
relationship period.
relationship, when
Yeah,
you're in a relationship, what are things that should be respected by other people?
correct, correct.
Oh, like from outsiders.
Like outsiders, people that aren't in a relationship. There might be, shoot, even in this case with Kodak Black, they, like Mike was saying just now, there are people that sit out and wait for stuff. Like they
Yeah.
wait for you to post stuff on social media and say, "Man, this dude just getting on my nerve. I'm so tired of this. I can't take it no more." And they jump right in your inbox.
Right. I actually just I was just on a post about that the other day. And
Uh-huh.
even with, I mean, the thing, even with Lauren London and Nipsey Hussle, like I don't know if they were truly married. I know that somebody was saying like they've been married for like a year or something like that, and that they wanted to keep it, I guess, private because they do live in the spotlight and whatever. But I know that um, they had announced their separation sometime
Mhm.
last year, that they were no longer together, and it's like people were all over it, then. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's just one of the things that comes with like being in the spotlight. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, same thing that Mike said. He should have respected. He should have respected that. But so I was just talking to somebody the other day on Facebook. I think it was yesterday, actually. They made a
Mhm.
post and they were basically saying like, females get on Facebook and they, post everything about their relationship, the
Mhm.
good and the bad. They post, when
Mhm.
he does this and he leaves flowers or sends edible arrangements, or, oh, I did this for him. He likes his food this way, or, he likes this color polish on my toes, and, that kind of stuff. And she was saying, like, you really give room for other females to pick up, like you basically telling them all the stuff that you've learned, about this person and all the time that you've put in to learn what this, man likes. Let's just say that as an example. Like what this man likes and what makes him mad or what this or what that. And they're like, the minute that, y'all get into it and you're posting it all on Facebook and stuff, you give the next one an opportunity to, kind of slide in there because now they
Yeah.
know so much information.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Correct.
I don't know. I think that in order for other people, like I call them outsiders, um, people that are outside of the relationship, I think in order for them to respect the relationship, the two people
Mm.
in the relationship have to require that. You know what I mean? You have to keep people out your business, and you have to set boundaries. You know, it, I
Okay.
feel like you know, I feel like there's that. Of course, you're always going to have people that are, going to be disrespectful. They have no home training, and even if they do, it goes out the window at some point. They just don't care. And a lot of people now are like selfish. You know, they don't
Mhm.
care how it's going to negatively impact the other people. So, I mean, there's that. But I say, like, in a relationship, if you don't demand respect from other people or set the boundaries so that people know what to respect, then, you don't know. But Kodak, I mean, he was definitely out of line for that. You know, he was
Yeah.
definitely out of line for that.
I,
But when you say
I,
respect, do you mean like family and friends, or do you mean like
I mean, I'm talking anybody because there are those that even in family that will try to get in and manipulate.
oh
I
yeah,
know
that's
cases
why I said
myself
yeah, that's why I
where
said
uh
that's why I said that because I wasn't sure if you were saying like, I mean, if you were saying like as far as like the opposite sex trying to make a pass,
well that
or if you
too.
were just
I
saying
mean anyway because that's a part of it too. Especially
yeah.
especially on social media now in our
Mm.
social media days it came a long way. And I can't even tell you how many times a day, because I'm always on social media. I'm on the breakdown page. I'm on my like pages. Um, in the group that I see somebody post, I'm so tired of this. I can't believe he did that. Can't believe she just said that. If you want to say that, and they pretty much put their relationship all on blast. Let you know
Mm.
exactly what's going on, what
Mm.
happened.
And
This
my
is
thing
the
is, what do you
deal.
get out of that when you go on Facebook, on anything, and tell everybody your business like that? Because I think
Honestly,
me
yeah. Go ahead.
personally,
Uh,
I've been with my husband for 19 years.
did you say?
I've been with him for 19 years, and we've been married for 15.
Uh-huh.
But I'm
Congrats.
not the one to. I'm not the one to sit and post everything because in any relationship, everything is not peaches and cream
Mhm.
365 days out the year. You're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. But one thing I say, I'm not one to post about everything that's going on
Now this
because right there
is
you give room
for
for
people to step
anybody
in.
just to
Yeah.
slip right in at any time. I've
Is
learned
this
that
a
through anything.
conversation? I got a question.
Okay.
Is this a conversation you and your husband had and decided, yo, we ain't gonna put nothing on Facebook, or
We've never had a talk like that. We've never had a talk like that. We just know each
mm,
other. We just know,
okay,
you know what I
okay.
mean? That's just something that we've never did.
Would
He's not
you,
a. Go ahead.
another question,
Hmm.
would you advise it? Now I'm asking you this because, like you
Would
just
I
said,
what?
advise it. Like, would you advise couples? There are a lot of different couples that listen to us.
Uh huh.
A lot of people that listen to us that's about to get into a relationship. Would you advise it? Y'all been together 19 years,
Hmm.
that this conversation is had? And if so, how should it be had? Because I know personally, being in a few relationships, stuff did spill out on social media a couple times, and I was
Mhm.
tripping. Like, why would you go on there and say that? What? I don't get it. And I think personally, let me just say this. I personally think it's a outlet. Like, I need to get this off my chest. This is how I'm gonna do it. That's just me personally. That's what I think.
Mhm.
I don't know
Mhm.
if that's true or not,
Mhm.
but I know that there are people that are listening to us that's either going through that right now
Mhm.
or they're in a place to where, I want to get in a relationship, but the last relationship that I was in, it spilled over. Um, I have a couple of people in my head right now I'm thinking about that will not touch Facebook. They will not touch Twitter. They're
Mhm.
not going to be on Instagram. And their
Mhm.
reasoning is my personal stuff is always on there. My homeboy, I talk about him all the time on the show, told me straight up, bro, I'm not getting on social media. The last
Mhm.
time that I was on there, and this wasn't a relationship, but the last time I was on there, my brothers were into it. And they were going back and forth on posts. He
Mhm.
said it was crazy. I couldn't believe it, Doc. I can't do social media for fear of people looking at me crazy because I'm associated with them.
Mhm.
he
I
was
just
he
believe a
was
lot of
so
things that
serious
goes
with
on
it.
in a relationship need to just stay at home. It doesn't need to be broadcasted. That's just me.
Hmm.
A lot
I
of things
agree.
does not need to be spoke out. Whatever goes on in your house needs to stay in. I mean, that's how well, back in the day, that's how parents would raise their kids. What goes on in the house stays in the house. And that's
Yeah,
how I
Right.
feel in
yeah,
a relationship. When
right,
you're in a relationship, that needs to stay in the house. It does not need to go out
right.
um, for everybody to know what's going on because, like you said, it just opens up for other people to slip right in. Oh, I see this is what's going on in their relationship. Well, this is the right time I can step in and I can say, boom, bomb, bang, and there it
Hmm.
goes. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I think social media is not good for relationships. Period, point
Hmm.
blank.
I
Hmm.
think that's a conversation that has to be had very early on, though.
Yeah,
Like
But,
in
yeah.
the
okay,
dating portion of it, I
okay.
think that that's something that should be discussed, and then maybe later on once the
But does
relationship
it
gets a little
really
more
have
serious
to be
too.
discussed? Because it could be of how you guys are in your relationship. Like I said, I mean, this stuff wasn't out when we
Well,
was dating,
a
but
lot of people ain't like y'all say. It's just, Sassy, it's just a lot of people that's out here. And I'm speaking for myself.
I mean,
I
don't get me
know,
wrong. There's
no,
nothing
I know
wrong
it
with
took,
going out saying, "Oh, he did this or she did that." There's nothing wrong with praising your mate. There's nothing wrong with that.
mm,
But always being on there and talk about, "Oh, they did this," and I think that's childish sometimes to me.
well, all I'm saying is, I know it took y'all some time to get this, uh, what I want to call it, uh, feelings, mutual feelings, or way that you think about each other. It took y'all a minute to do this. Like you said, you've been together for 9 years. Boom, I see it. Okay, I understand that. That's to those that are just starting out, or
Leave
they've
social
been
media alone.
together for a
Dating.
minute. Uh huh.
When you dating, leave social media alone. Don't let
So
everybody know your business that y'all just starting out. Keep that between y'all and see where it goes.
okay, so you should not post on Facebook
No, no,
that
not
I'm
running
in a
social media.
relationship
No, no.
and tag, because Facebook got that option now. You
You
can,
can tag your
I'm
auntie,
in
cousin, sister,
relationship
brother.
with such and
Yeah,
such.
no. I would not post that. I might be old school. I'm older than that.
Mhm.
But that's just me. I mean, I'm not older than everybody on this line, but That's just me.
I think a lot of times that's a lot of people, when you first start dating somebody, I think a lot of times that's people like placing their claim, to let,
Yeah,
because you got a lot of
yeah,
people that's out here in a relationship,
that
but they're
does
single
happen
on
too.
Facebook. You know what I mean? They don't have,
Yeah.
they don't, they act like they're single. They don't, now I'm not saying you have to tag the person and say you're in a relationship with, because one thing about, especially if you're dating somebody, if you live in a small town and you're dating somebody from in that small town, there's 9 times
Mhm.
out of 10 going to be somebody that has something to say about that person, or their cousins, brothers, baby's mom,
Mhm.
something, something. And so I say, you don't necessarily have to say you're in a relationship with that person. However, I do believe that if you are in a relationship, you should have that you are in a relationship, and not be out
Okay.
here loving and making comments on, the other people's pages,
Mhm.
inappropriate comments and stuff like that. In addition to that, I also don't think, to go back to the question that you were saying earlier, what is disrespectful in a relationship. One thing that boils my blood is when
Mhm.
somebody's in a relationship and they post a picture, right? Or they say something, and um let's say it's a girl, let's say it's a female, and she posts a picture, her breasts are out,
Mhm.
whatever, and she has a man, but she allows men to be thirsty on her picture. Um,
Yeah.
I think that is disrespectful, because if you and your
That's
man are
me.
friends on Facebook, he's reading these comments, he's seeing all of
Mhm.
this, and you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And um, I don't think that should be the case. I also don't think that if you are in a relationship, that you should have multiple male, I can't even say friends of the opposite sex, because I don't want to offend anybody, because not everybody is with the opposite sex. um, but if you're a female and you have a man, I don't think that, or you're in a relationship, let me say that. I want to be politically correct here. You're in a
Mhm.
relationship, I don't think that you should have all of these random people that are not like close friends and family. Like,
On
I
your
have
page, you mean?
like on your page, like I have very few people
Mhm.
on my page that are like not family and close friends, and that's like some of the podcast, guys,
Mhm.
um, and like an old coworker or two, something like that. However,
Mhm.
if I was in a relationship, I wouldn't
Them
be.
niggas gotta go. Oh, I'm sorry. My
But
bad.
why?
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not.
Why?
No, 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 no. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that they have to go. What I'm saying is that I only have a few. So there are. So basically, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about there are females that have like thousands of guy friends on Facebook that are not their guy friends sassy. I'm not saying when you get in a relationship, you should let your male friends go. That's not what I'm saying. These are people that you've never met before. These are people that you
Mhm.
know absolutely nothing about. These are people that you don't, communicate with, know nothing.
Oh, then
You
that's
post a
different.
picture. Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm saying you
different.
shouldn't
Yeah,
have
okay.
those people. Like, they're non-factors. Delete them. Clean it up. Like, why do you have 3,000 random guys that you've never even met before? Just because they sent you
Mhm.
a friend request, you accepted it. So now they're, being thirsty all on your pictures and
The
stuff, and you
pages.
don't
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
put them in their place. You know what I mean? Like, that's disrespectful to me. Like, if I feel like if my man um
Mhm.
did that, and girls are commenting like, oh, you're so sexy, daddy, and all this kind of stuff, and you're like, oh, thanks, sweetie, oh, thanks, love, stuff like that. oh
Yeah.
oh, we gonna have a problem. We gonna have a problem, because what is that all about? Like, you need to let it be known that you are in a relationship. And some people are like, oh, it's just a compliment, just take it. But that's not true. That is a form of flirting. And
Yeah,
if you are secure with who you are and who you're in a relationship with, then you don't need that validation from all of these random people.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So to go back to what I was saying, like, when I feel like some people do the posting on Facebook and oh, look what Babe did, and whatever, is because a lot of times they want to show somebody that they won the prize. You know what I mean? That, like, hey, he got a girl, I'm over here, or whatever. Or the guy wants to let any other guys know that she's spoken for. So a lot of times that's really what it is when you're first dating somebody.
That is true. I agree with you on that. I do see that. You right about that. Cause, well, I ain't gonna say oh man, but some of us, it go back to, like, even thinking about animals or whatever the case may be. Not saying that we're animals or nothing, but
no, put it on yourself. Put it on yourself because you said us. So let's hear what us.
I did say us, didn't I? There are some of us that will. True, we let you know.
For yourself right there, bro.
This is us. This me right here.
Yeah, that's
don't
you
even,
right there, not
don't
us.
even try to
you.
talk to her. Don't even, whatever the case may be. I've seen that done. I personally don't do that. I'm not into that, but I have seen it done. Even working the clubs, and Mike, you can attest to this. Bouncing at the clubs, and you bring your girl with you, and y'all go in the club or whatever. You walk away from her, and 9 times out of 10, there will be somebody standing there trying to talk to her when you get back. And these guys, I done seen guys straight step in between them and push the dude out the way, like, bruh, get off her. This my woman. Like, wait, hold on. I've seen this.
Stepping back and watching to see what she say.
Yeah, I've seen it. But
sometimes you don't want to step back and do that because it depends on the person you with. They might give in to temptation.
But see, I don't know about you.
Well, if they give in to temptation, then they're not yours.
Well, see, I don't know, but I know that the few times I did see this happen, the woman was already telling them, yo, I'm with my man, I'm happy, whatever the case may be. There are some guys that don't even care. Like, bitch, yeah, whatever. You saying that right now. Whatever the case may be. Yo, you want to take my number down? I didn't watch these cats like, bruh, she just told you she got a man. What's the issue? Or they might be out with their girls, because I've seen this a lot. It's ladies' night. It's all women. And you might have 6, 7 women chilling together. They all friends, family, whatever the case may be. They got a man. They got a husband. Whatever the case, he's not there physically with them. And again, swooping in, you let them know what's going on. I'm just saying there are some guys out there that's like that. So don't be surprised.
Yeah, but there's more than more than fun.
And I don't know if I have been stepped to a few times by women. It's kind of shocked me. It depends on where I was at, but that has happened to me in a few occasions. I don't know if it happens as much to guys as it does to women. Like, I know this because, like I said, women talk to and hit me up all the time, asking questions, their feelings on certain things, want to know my opinion. And this is one of the biggest subjects that I get. Like, why do guys do this? What is this about? I don't really hear guys talking about it, probably because they don't have problems with it.
They do it. Guys continue to do it because they know they're gonna find somebody that's gonna give in.
And we was just talking about, me and Mike was just talking about this earlier. Even going back to the Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London, Kodak Black situation. There are those, and I've heard them say it, that yo, all I need is one shot. Open up that door, give me one shot, I'm in there. Okay, she shot me down. I go to the next one. And they do this all the time. It's just like, wow, this dude just won't stop. He just keeps going. Which I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been out the game, not really, not in a relationship wise, but I've kind of been dealing with myself and not looking lately for a minute. And they mess with me about this on the Mad Cave on the time, me not being out there like that. But to me, I feel that you personally have to get yourself together in a way before being able to even present yourself to someone else. Y'all was talking earlier about in a bad relationship. I know it's a group that I'm in that this question was brought up today. How long after a bad relationship or the relationship ends should you start looking again or putting yourself back out there? My answer was it depends on that person. It depends on what the situation was, why this relationship ended. Because I know there are people that they get out of a relationship and the next day they be out there in the street. Like, dang, for real? You ain't even mourning what happened. They be like, thank God, it's over. I'm done. But 9 times out of 10, in those type of cases, the relationship was over a while ago. Y'all just still been together. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all can jump in on that, how you feel about that, but that's just me personally. That's what I think.
Mhm. That's true. I mean, well, yeah, I think that's true. You know, when somebody, but then again, you just never know. A lot of how we, you know, cope and deal with things has a lot to do with like how we were raised and you know what we've seen and stuff. So if you're used to, you know, it being like a quick like, oh, okay, I'm not an emotional person, like it is what it is, all right, whatever. You know, I moved on. You know, that was yesterday. Once you have that, like you said, you have, you know, I mean, guys do it, of course, but I think
there's some women that do it too, though.
A lot of women do it, and those women that do that are the same ones that bring 1,000 people around their kids. Like they'll be in a living relationship.
No, you didn't just go there. You just slid right in there like that. You just
I'm serious.
Go ahead.
Like those same females that do that hop from relationship to relationship, they introduce these people to their kids. It's like y'all only been talking for a month and he living there. It's like he came and spent the night and never went home, and you just got out of a relationship 2 months ago. Yeah. You know, how is this person already, you know, living there? And it's like, it's not healthy, but some people, that's how they cope. You know, that's how they deal. Wait, let me not say cope, because that's just how, you know, I guess that's just how they deal with it. But if you have good coping skills and you're able to be honest with yourself, you would know that that's not the best thing. Some people, they don't want to deal with the hurt and the pain of, you know, that breakup or whatever, so they find something to replace it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I say on time, like how long you should wait between relationships. Honestly, it's like you said, it depends on the situation. It depends on, you know, the person. But I say that you should give it, I mean, however long it takes for you to really process and, heal from the relationship or the failed relationship, I should say, and to really be able to
Mhm.
look at yourself and say, like, okay, even if this person dogged me and it was not my fault, where did I go wrong? Like, why did I attract this person? Where were the
Yeah,
red flags? Like, what is it that I missed that I could have, um,
done or
not talked to this
voided.
person or, yeah,
Mhm.
avoided it, altogether. And until you can answer those questions and really be honest with yourself and,
Mhm.
be okay about it, I say that you should stay single. And I probably would have answered that question different before my last relationship.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's been 2 years and some change now, since my
Oh,
daughter's
okay.
dad. So I think I've really been taking this time, and I'm like finally at a point where, like, before I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm not supposed to be single, and I almost went back to him like initially because I was like, I'm not supposed to be single, whatever. I wasn't really taking the time, and then
Mhm.
after a while, I started saying like, why? What happened that this happened? Like, what could I have done different? And then when I started like being honest with myself, the truth hurts sometimes, especially you don't want to admit your wrongs and that. And I think the more and more that I like sat with myself and tried to make peace about the situation and could
Mhm.
be honest with myself, the more I was okay with being single. The more I was like
Yeah,
okay with being single, like okay, I'm just gonna take my time because I don't want this to happen again. I don't want nothing like this to happen again. So
and
it
I
all depends on the
personally,
person.
I don't know. It's just me, but you speaking on that, that's how I feel. I agree with that. I personally say a lot that people should date themselves.
Hmm.
They should go out like you would go out on a date and just date yourself.
Hmm.
Get to know what you like and what you don't like. Um, Again, you need to do that and see if you can, if you can deal because I know for me, and I used to post all the time, especially when I was in Atlanta. I would be going to the movies. I would be going somewhere everywhere, and I'd be by myself. And
Hmm.
I get all kind of inboxes like, "Man, why you out by yourself? You ain't got nobody kicking with you. This and that, you that." Yo, I'm taking time to get to know myself again,
Hmm.
and I wasn't rushing. That's what a lot of people. I hear a lot of people say that they can't handle being by themselves. It's hard. They don't want to be by themselves. And so as soon as they get out of a relationship, they jump right back in another one.
Hmm.
Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whatever the case may be, of that last situation, they just can't deal with being by themselves. And I don't know. I don't. I'm not one to knock it. That's just not me. I can't do it. Like I said on the man cave, I was I had started doing it and going out. I would be shoot. I did stuff that I didn't even do on dates or nothing. Like I was going to museums and everything. I was doing some of everything. And by the time I turned around and looked up, like you just said, it was 2 years. It was 3 years. I'm like, I ain't even thinking about it. Like, yo, it's because when you're not, somebody said when you don't have something, you don't miss it as much. When you put your mind to other stuff. And so basically that's what I was doing. I was just focusing on other stuff. And then at the time, too, we had the show going on and all this other stuff. So I'm working and I wasn't even thinking about that. And by the time I looked up, I had been single for a few years and like, whoa, okay, yeah, I have been. Okay, it's time for me. Me personally, um, there are things, and I'm speaking as a single man, but there are certain things in a relationship that I look at as disrespectful as far as if you know I'm in a relationship, you know we're talking to somebody. 9 times out of 10, even if they put it on social media or you know that that person is in a relationship, but you're still pressing. Like that's an issue for me. Um, I've seen it done. I've had it done to me, and I've always had a problem with that. There are those too. Another thing that say, like y'all was saying earlier, keep your relationship off social media and don't tell people about it. Um, and you just said something about not telling nobody, and then they be dating with other people and all that. I had that happen to me personally. Come to find out, the young lady that I thought I was talking to had a whole nother relationship, and it was booming. And at the end of everything, all that I put into that relationship, I was left holding the bag and looking stupid. So I don't know. It's a good thing not to put as far as your problems and all that kind of stuff on social media. Doesn't yeah, I agree 110%. But sometimes these people need to know because they go act like they ain't know. And like I said earlier, I know there's a lot of women that will let the guys know, or guys that will let these women know, and they still press the issue. They still keep it going because they feel like sooner or later you're gonna be like, you know what? Okay, what's good? Because that's just what they used to. There are people that have done that before with them, so they feel like you the same way. So, dang. I don't know. That's just a couple of my issues.
I have a question now. So, I mean, it's kind of off topic, but it's kind of what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said about being single,
Mm-hmm.
Single, or dating? Do you consider
You mean as far as me when I was single, for the years I was single, and years? Yeah, I've been single.
in the years.
Yeah, I've been single. I mean, I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't dating nobody. I haven't been. I haven't been on the phone talking to nobody. It's kind of like, and I can't say everyone is like this, but for me, once I get used to not missing certain things, because there are times, I ain't gonna lie, you go to the movie theater and you see all the couples and you sitting in there like, dang, I wish I was in a relationship. But then, like we said before, depending on the relationship and how it ended, I think in the back of my head what happened the last time, and I'd be like, man, nah, I'm good right now. And until you get over that type of stuff, because I was talking to someone else, and their question to me was, how do you get over your last relationship? And I was like, well, it really depends on what happened in your last relationship. It might take you a minute to get over it, depending on what it is. And she said, he cheated on me. He stepped out on me, and it was with my friend. And I was like, oh, that's a hard one. That might take a minute. Because she said that she looks at everybody the same now. Like, there are people that's approaching her, trying to date her, all this kind of stuff. But when they come to her, she just see dude cheating on her. And she don't want to go through that again. And at the time when I talked to her, I think she said it had been like 3 or 4 months or something like that. And she was still feeling that way. And I was like, yo, it really depends because of, let's just say, the love that you had for that person and they betrayed you, or the length of time that you were together. I've heard that has an issue with it. Um, it really all depends. And me personally, and y'all can jump in whenever y'all want to, but me personally, everybody know I'm a God fearing man. I believe in God. I personally ask God to help me heal, help me get over the stuff that happened. Because I know my last big relationship that happened to me, I got stepped out on, and so I was like, yo, that's crazy. All that I did, whatever the case may be, was it ever pointed out to me that that's what happened? No, but I know it happened because of the way that this person just moved on so quick like that. And I was like, dang, for real? That's crazy. We ain't even been, it's been a couple of weeks. That's, wow. And like we said before, it does, depending on the person, it takes different people different times to heal. But
sometimes they haven't necessarily moved on though. Sometimes
Right.
yeah, true. That's true.
Sometimes it is just to like save face or, get you
But that
mad,
but
that
that
kind of
bothered me for a minute though.
thing.
I
It did
ain't
what it
even
was
gonna
supposed
lie.
Like I said, it depends on the relationship.
Yeah,
How
it
you
depends on
ended
the
the last
relationship.
relationship. I mean,
And
like I done said it on here before.
mm,
In my last relationship before now, I was
mm,
abused. I was left for dead.
mm,
So that right there, it took me a long time to get into the relationship that I am in now.
mm,
It took me some years, and it's still, certain times you can get mad, and sometimes it'll come back to you. So it's like you're never over it.
yeah,
Just don't try to dwell on it.
yeah, that's true. That is true. That
I
is,
I
I agree
try
with
not
that.
to dwell on
Yeah,
what my past was, because
but
if
it's
I
some things
did, I
that
would die
bring
daily.
it. There are some things that bring that stuff back up.
You're blurry. You're blurry.
Uh oh, am I still blurry?
Okay, now you sound a lot better.
I just said there are things that will bring that back up.
It will.
Because I didn't
It does.
understand. Like, I've been told a few times, and it tripped me out. Now, tell me if I'm right, if y'all ever been through this. I've been in places, dates, or whatever the case may be, and the young lady would trip out, like, man, you chew just like my ex-boyfriend.
To me, that's a
Why,
nitpicker.
why you say that like that? You sound just like such and such. Like,
See, that's a
what?
nitpicker. That's a person that's not over their past to me. They try to pick
See, I
out
don't.
all the
Yeah,
flaws of
that's
that
what I'm
person.
saying.
But
That's what
I don't
I'm
that's
know.
just
saying.
me. That's just me.
I think it's the manner in which it's said in. Like if it's, you know,
No, I mean
um,
just regular stuff. Like it might
no, but the
be.
reason why I say that though is
Mhm.
because it's it can sometimes be beneficial to know those things as it's not so much about my ex, right? So um let's say okay, so this friend that I had, some guy who was interested in me, whatever, we were just friends, and
Mhm.
he got upset one day because like he thought I was ignoring him or whatever, but really all in all, like I was just busy. I did not have the time to get to my phone. Driving, I can't text and drive, so my phone is up in the holster. I'm paying attention to my driving app. I'm not in tune with text messages and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So he like got mad and said some like off the wall stuff, like like F you and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, oh, no, sir. Like, I don't, yeah, no. Like, I don't deal with that kind of. And then he, brought himself back down. He was like, well, because I was nice about it. And I was like, listen, I don't know who upset you or what you have going on, but I can't deal with that kind of behavior, And I was like, so, hey, I wish you the best. And I mean that in the most sincere way. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be petty. I wish you the best. And he was just like, no, I'm sorry. I'm just frustrated. And I'm like, I get what you're saying. But at the same time, you cannot allow yourself to get so upset that you go so hard and say the things that you said. I mean, the stuff that he said was like crazy. Like, it was threats. Like, he threatened me. And I'm like, I'm not, I can't put up with that. You know what I'm saying? And so in that situation, I said to him, I was like, I'm not comparing you to anybody or anything, but that is one of the reasons why me and my ex are not together. Because he gets so upset to the point that he's in these like fits of rage, and there's no bringing him back down. And for me, that's a red flag for me. That's a problem for me. If you can't communicate and you can't say, look, I'm having a bad day or whatever, I needed to talk to you, whatever the case may be. If you can't communicate that to me without going to the extent that you did, it's not the fact that he got upset. It was the things that he said. He was like, I'll shoot your car up. And I'm like, what? You would shoot what? You would say something like that knowing that I have a child, you know what I mean? Like that, why would you even say something like that? Like, that lets you know what you're actually capable of. Like, that's very immature of you to say something
crazy.
like that. So I think that in a sense that so after we had that talk, and I told him, I said, that's not something that I don't like to be played with like that. So that's a deal breaker for me. And it is also a red flag for me because you take notes from, your past. That's how you learn what you like, what you don't like, whatever. So that's why I told him, like, I'm not trying to compare you to him or nothing like that, but I'm just telling you, like, that is a deal breaker for me. That's why we're not together. Like, that fit of rage, there's no telling what you would do in that fit of rage. You're not in control of yourself when you get to that point. If you let it get out of, hand like that. So that's why I say, like, I wouldn't be offended if it came down to helping me know how to handle you. Like, that was something, that I didn't like, whatever. Now, if you like, oh, you doing that just like, such and such. I'm like, why you keep bringing her up? There's a difference. But, like, I think in the beginning when you're getting to know somebody and it can help them to better know how to handle you or understand where your frustration or where your whatever comes in with that, I think that it can be helpful. That's
right. And like I say, it is. It's not always what you say; it's how you say it.
Absolutely. Right. That's why I said the manner in which you say it, because if you're joking around playing and stuff.
Yeah, it's the way how you say it.
And what it's regarding.
And what it's regarding. Yep.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
I agree. I know with guys in particular, and might be able to help me here. I know with men, we kind of keep to ourselves. I've been told that a lot. Like, you need to let somebody know what's going on. You just ain't saying nothing and you're keeping it in and building up and but at the same time, usually that's how we brought up. We were talking about on the other show how men are brought up to be the providers, the protectors. You're supposed to be strong even when you're little. And they be like, you hurt your knee or something. They be like, get up, man, it won't hurt. You all right. And you know it hurt. But that's just how guys are brought up. We're brought up to do that. We're not brought up to show emotions and all of that kind of stuff. Like, women are allowed to just do that. And I don't know if it's I don't know. I think it depends on the family as well. because I know there are those that display affection and display feelings on their sleeve, and it's no issue. It's easy for them to do that. Like, well, no, I mean, as far as men go, but there are a lot of men that be like, yo, I'm not, I'm not. Even like somebody dies or something, they have a funeral, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna be strong, man. I gotta be strong for grandma. I gotta keep it in, woo, woo, woo. But 9 times out of 10, behind closed doors, they break.
Yeah.
I've done that. I know because I've done it. Yeah, I call myself trying to be strong, and I'm trying to be the man, and this and that. The last time it really hit me, I have a friend in Minnesota, and Face know who I'm talking about. My homeboy Tone died. And the way that he died was just crazy to me. I couldn't understand it. I was so lost that he called somebody to come and get him because he was drinking and he was drunk, to come and pick him up. And she went and picked him up, and she let him drive. And she had her kids in the car. He hits a medium, and he's killed instantly. And he tripped me out, and I was like, bro, come on. Wait, what happened? And it had to be told to me a few times because I couldn't get it. I was like, he called you to come and get him, and for the longest, I was good. I got on the bus. That was a long bus ride, too. I got on the bus to go to Minnesota, and I remember sitting in Minnesota, and I mean, not in Minnesota, but on the bus, we was at a little stop. They was picking a couple of people up. And I remember the thought hitting me, you going to Tomo's funeral. And like instantly, I didn't even have time to think about it or anything. It just hit me out of nowhere. And tears started flowing. I remember people on the bus like, yo, you okay? Are you all right? What just happened? It was good just a second ago. I remember all that like it was yesterday. And I remember me straightening up and, wiping my face down and all that kind of stuff. And the guy that was sitting next to me, he was like, dog, you just broke, bro. What's good? And I told him, I was like, yo, one of my homeboys passed. And I told him the situation, and he was like, dang, that's hard. That's crazy. Why would they do that? And that was puzzling me for the longest. Even to this day, I sometimes think about it like, why? But it all depends. Like, it depends on the person, too. So I know, I'm just speaking from a guy's point of view, and I've heard a lot of women say that that's an issue with them because we're not emotionally out there like that. Guys don't want to sit down and talk, and we don't want to do this. And if he would have just sat down and talked to me, we could have worked this out.
Yep.
We brought up that way. It's a problem. It's an issue. There are those, like me, I know there are other guys too, but I know myself in particular, in relationships, I had to learn this because, like I said, this is how I was brought up. You a man. Be a man. What you crying for? So you don't see that. Conversations, let's have a conversation about our feelings and all that kind of stuff. Back in the day, in school, and, with our homeboys, it was laughed at. It was frowned upon. Like, bro, you weak, homie.
By grown adults, men are made.
Yeah, and there are those too, like you just said. Especially like you in a relationship and whatever the case may be. Oh, we catch hell. especially when the women ain't around and it's just us guys. Like, yeah, bro, I see you the other day, dog. And they go in.
And see, I don't see nothing wrong with a man crying. I don't see
And it's
nothing wrong
not.
with a man to cry.
I don't think it is. I think it shows strength to me. But like I said, it depends on that person because, like I said, you brought up that way. You brought up, you a man. Get up. You scrape your knee.
I get that.
Good.
I get that when it comes to. I get that when it comes to like not wanting to cry and that kind of stuff. But
right.
I mean, there's no excuse for being able to communicate how you feel. I mean, yes, it has a lot to do with how you were brought up, the examples that you've seen. But at some point, as an adult, you have to say, okay, this obviously isn't working, especially when or if, I'm going to say, you have a woman who is telling you that, this is what she wants from you. She wants you to communicate with her. It's the only way that you guys are going to work. She's begging you to go to counseling with her, by yourself, whatever the case may be. And it's like a last resort to trying to save your relationship. Some men still won't budge. And it's like, okay, I get that you have pride and you don't want to seem weak and all that kind of stuff, but we're just literally talking about communication. And a lot of times I think that it's just that, and it's not just men, it's some women too, because they unfortunately had mothers that were not very loving and affectionate.
So I think that's a part of it too. You're right.
Both sides, but it's like, I feel like it's too much pride because a lot of times it's hard to hear that your best isn't enough. You know what I mean? And it's like you might be doing what you consider is your best, but that might not be what that person needs, or what their relationship needs or whatever. So, like, I get what you're saying, about men crying and, that kind of stuff. Like, I get it. But
I went a little deep with it, but
no. But I mean, but you're right though. But you're right though. A lot of men are emotionally unavailable because, I feel like a man could get hurt one time and that's it. They close down shop. They shut it down.
It's a wrap.
You know what I mean? They're just not gonna let nobody in no more. They're not gonna do this. They're not gonna do that. Women, we have failed relationship after failed relationship. And we still, it's like we're still trying to get that love that we, deserve or whatever the case may be. And guys are just like, yeah, nope, I'm not never doing that again.
And I've been saying this since my sex battles days. Shout out to those who've been at us ever since sex battles. But I've been saying even back then, to me, there's a lot of women that are stronger than men. Like the stuff that y'all deal with, us in particular being one of them, man, y'all got strength. Y'all got strength. And if you don't believe me, the next time you and your man are sitting down talking, having a conversation, just say to him, yo, what would you do if you had to get pregnant?
If you had to get what?
If you had to get pregnant.
If you had to carry
If it was men being pregnant and having babies, what would you do? And just don't say nothing else. Just look at his face.
That is so disrespectful.
Okay, that is absolutely. I would never say that to my husband.
Because honestly, for real, and I go back biblically because I do this from time to time. Women have kids. You know why?
Because our bodies are made for it. What do you mean?
Well, no, this goes back to Adam and Eve. This was a part of when Eve took the portion of the tree, the apple, and she ate the apple. Part of the I want to
the menstrual cycle is the reason for that.
Punishment or whatever the case may be. Well, up to then, I ain't gonna say up to then. I have to do some more research on it. But they don't talk about it like that. They talk about people having birth and they having kids and this and that, they don't talk about how hard it was or whatever. But at the same time, everyone was, to me, this is just me personally, y'all come at me, hit me up, came through that line. So she was the first one that had that giving birth and all of that case too. So yeah,
I don't think that was the reason why though.
About that, but I don't know. I think I've always thought that was part of the reason. I don't know.
I mean, it is
that's
as far as
like I said. That's just me.
If I can remember correctly, I think because hey, listen, I'm not out here quoting scriptures and whatnot. Yeah. But
yes.
I know that the menstrual cycle is as a result of that. But I mean, I believe the woman was created to, to be able to birth children and be all of the things that men can't do.
But think about it though, because I do that all the time. Like I think about stuff like that. Like, what if? And I believe that the Almighty already knew what the outcome will be or would be, even in our case, what it's going to be. But he gives us the decision of our own mind doing what we want to do. But we'll talk more about that later on. But what if you didn't listen to the serpent and eat from the tree and bring it back to Adam? What would it be like now? Like,
so first of all, and people always laugh when I say this, right? But I am so serious.
We should have gone in. I'm sorry, breakdown. Everybody that's listening, I apologize. But if she go in, I'm going in too. No, go ahead.
No, I'm not going in, right? It's actually rather funny because people always laugh when I say this, right? But you gotta admit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's Adam's fault because his pimp hand should have been a little stronger. No, I'm just playing.
Join us next week when Lala will be on the show apologizing to all men across the nation. Thank you for listening to the breakdown.
No, seriously, I mean, he should have, he was in charge, and,
That's been brought up. So we're going to have to continue this when we end this recording. But, yeah, I think we at the time is up for us. I know y'all can find everywhere that we are down wherever you're listening to this. We all over the place now. So pretty much anywhere you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to the breakdown. You can listen to any show that's on TDR Network. There is a lot of great shows that are on there, and I do advise you to go check them out. Also, if you're not on Facebook in our group or on the like page, make sure you go to the like page and the group, join the group, like the like page. We talk about a lot of stuff that's going on tonight that we're talking about on the like page in the group and also on Instagram. We have an Instagram, so make sure you check that out. That's in the link as well, in the description, should I say, as well. So make sure you check that out. Yeah, y'all want to tell them where y'all can be found at? I know it's certain ones that ain't gonna do
it. My page is
private. You can find me on Facebook.
She don't want them stalkers.
Right. You can find me on Instagram at LaJoy Faith. And you can find me on Glide as Miss Sassy. Yay.
Oh, you giving out all your stuff. Okay, then.
It doesn't even matter.
She said it don't even matter.
It don't.
She's feeling it tonight. She's feeling it tonight.
Sassy.
Anybody else?
I said
Anybody
sassy
else?
is being sassy.
Yes.
That's what it
Yes.
Well, you can find me
Go ahead.
You can find me at Dark Flow, Dark All Black. No, Mike All Black. Everything Flow on Facebook and Dark Flow 2369 on Instagram. That's it.
But that's all. Look.
Hey, I try to be. The government is watching you, man, so I try to stay off social media.
Lala said she ain't giving nothing out. Her page is all private. I mean, what?
Everything is private. Everything
and I
is
don't
locked
really
down.
I don't really accept friend requests. If it's not like people that I know, I don't really accept.
Look for Lala. She will look for you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still waiting on that banana pudding though, man. Lala.
Here we go. You can find me on Instagram as DJ_Favor FAVOR. That's my Instagram. On Twitter, I'm at DJ Favor, one word. And on Facebook, I am Jacob Marshall. Like I said before, send me a message. Let me know you listen to the breakdown. 9 times out of 10, I will add you. You can also find us on all the links. Like I said, we have a like page on Facebook. We have a group on Facebook. We also have a page on Instagram. And yeah, our Instagram page, I'm going to just say it so that people will know where they can find us at, is TDR_, THE_ breakdown, one word. That's TDR_, breakdown, one word. Follow us. We will follow you back. Thank you to everybody that had joined us. And we will hit you up next time.
Watch the breakdown.